Yo, what's going down, everybody? It's your boy David, and I'm coming at you with another episode of the Free Play Mode Quick Hit. It is July 4th, 2016, and I want to wish all of you out there in the United States of America a happy Independence Day. And for the rest of you out there, get your asses to work. But I'm here with the founder and leader of the New Gaming Order, Mr. Alex Lexus. What's going on, Alex?
What's going on? It's the Juggernaut, bitch. What's going on, peoples?
And I gotta say, Alex, I'm gonna start this off with some serious assault, man. I'm mad, bro. I am really, really mad.
Tell him why you mad.
You really want me to tell him why I'm mad, son?
Tell him.
Dude, Street Fighter V story mode. Like, I know people who've listened to this podcast listened to our previous episode where we had Danae from Tough Nerd Toys on and we talked about the story mode. But I'm especially mad because I did some calculations and I broke it down. And you want to know what I found, Alex?
What you find?
I found that the story mode is actually a grand total of 2 hours, 33 minutes, 36 seconds long. And of that 2 hours, 33 minutes, and 36 seconds, I actually played a grand total of 45 matches totaling 21 minutes and 20 seconds. That is why I'm mad. And I know I'm nowhere near an elite player. You're a lot better player than I am. Shenwar's a lot better player than I am. Mujin Kitsuki's a lot better player than I am. Then you got your professionals out there, and I'm sure their play time is a lot shorter than my 21 minutes and 20 seconds. So, Alex, do you think that they should have included a proper arcade mode in lieu of the story mode, because you actually spend roughly 14% of the game playing the actual story mode and the other 86% watching the story mode?
I remember, I know your preferences, like, we would remember years ago we were discussing how stories are told, and it had to deal with the comparison with Splinter Cell and Metal Gear, where Metal Gear is littered with cutscenes. Now, again, it depends on the style that's being utilized, where they tell the story through the cutscenes and what have you. Now, I will say this: I'm not completely mad at the story mode, but I can have said I felt like there were certain matches that did get pulled from it. A good example of this is the Laura Alex tag team match versus Zangief and Armika. Why would you have that cutscene in there and then it just completely cuts out to something else? I believe that there was a fight that was supposed to happen there, and I think that maybe a couple more subsidiary fights should have, played its head, because I think it probably might have extended the length in time of the story mode. But yeah, I think more matches, especially with Urian, maybe even taking control of some of the dolls, that would have been, just to flesh it out a little bit, or playing the story mode through different characters' perspectives, a la Mortal Kombat. So I think that that's just something that they should have looked at and investigated. But again, I think that for them, this is virgin territory. And I can't really, like, me as an independent creator myself, I know how it is, where you're trying to put your best effort and it still gets shat on. So it's like, I understand Capcom's point, but yet they took Sony money, and they should have had more than enough resources and budget to make it like AAA. It seems more like, an episode out of a manga or a saga out of Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. Like, there should have been more matches to be played.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And that 45 matches is just not matches with main characters against main characters. It's everything. Matches against main characters with full movesets, matches against partially made characters like the dolls with, like, they only have unique special moves, and then you have matches against, like, just throwaway characters like the Shadowloo soldiers and the police captain, and it just feels like a waste, man. It really feels like a waste of time. And when you put that into perspective of, like, say, an arcade mode where you would have like 9 fights and plus one boss fight would be 10 fights, it breaks down to, like, okay, you playing 21 minutes and 20 seconds through it and 45 fights total, that would have put me at beating the game with 4 characters and working on a 5th halfway through. When you put that in perspective.
Yeah.
And to me, this is the only fighting game that I've ever heard of in modern times, since like Street Fighter 2, that has not had an arcade mode. It's ridiculous.
Well, you know what? This is the debacle that is Street Fighter 5 in as a whole. Again, you guys might think it's me taking a stab at Sony, but if you really look at it, if Capcom was truly independent with making Street Fighter 5, I guarantee you that would not have happened. Because again, you said it yourself just now. This is the first Street Fighter that did not have an arcade mode.
Not just the first Street Fighter, first fighting game that I can think of since Street Fighter 2.
Yes, and this was the franchise that made arcade fighting what it is today. They're the godfathers of it. So the lack of an inclusion, 100% I smell rushed product, as we've been saying even beforehand. Right now, this is when Street Fighter V should have come out, with the story mode, with all these patches, or the characters up to date. Releasing it in February like that, I think really hurt it. Partnering up with, the folks that they're with, I think that had a lot to do with it too, because it's like the investors wanted to see a return on their product. So there was this, like, again, if you look at the sales from Street Fighter V and compare it to Street Fighter 4 Vanilla, Vanilla still eclipses it by almost 2.5 million in sales. This only moved 1.6 million units across Steam and PS4. So there was just like a lot of, like, I think the story mode could have been a lot better or more robust, a lot more content, had it not seemed to have that whole rushed aura to it. Again, I enjoyed the story. Like, again, it seemed like what you and Danae were saying on your past product, that it seemed like a cartoon, like the Avengers, and Ryu was like the Superman to save the day type thing. I get it, that's to the writers. But at the end of the day, I feel that Capcom might have been within a box in terms of time frame, and they had to get it out at that time. Now, to do a deluxe version or a director's cut version of the story mode, adding some of those fights that I believe were removed, that remains to be seen. But or like a premium version. But again, rushing your product. Me as an artist, whenever I draw something and I start cutting corners, you can see it, and I can see that within Capcom right now. Don't get me wrong, I feel that they did put a lot of effort into it, and I think that they got antsy and released it when it did. Now imagine the catastrophe that would have happened if they said, "Oh, the story mode got delayed." Capcom would be ruined. You know what I mean?
I would have rather them delayed it and shorted up and made it into something really, really good than releasing this, because I don't think this was worth the 4-month wait. But if this
consider the fact though, let's say you as an individual is happy, it will be happy with that. The vast majority of the internet now would crucify Capcom if they did that. You know this.
Yes, this is true. True.
So it's like they try to appease the masses as opposed to the grassroots, the guys like you and me that came up through Street Fighter, during its inception. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a catch-22. It's damned if they do, damned if they don't. They're in a unique position where they made this genre what it is. So any move they make, they have to do it to appease the masses, not small groups like us.
Well, if this doesn't make you particularly mad, I have something else that may get you mad, Alex. You
Okay.
ready for this?
What's that?
$88.
When you total everything up, I get it.
Yup. $88 is the cost of buying the premium downloadable content costumes for all 22 characters in the game at $4 a piece. $88, Alex. Does that
Yep.
get you mad?
And that's not even past whatever season 1, because we know this is wave 1 for the characters, right?
Right.
Then you're gonna have a second wave, and then you're gonna have to do. They have to change the pricing for that. If you buy that, if you're like a season pass owner, you should have all of that stuff like at the rate.
I agree, and they're not included in any kind of package. They want you to buy these costumes individually, and if you didn't buy, like, pre-order whatever version you have, like if you didn't pre-order the Steam or PlayStation 4 version from a certain place, you didn't get like the Chun-Li battle outfit, or you didn't get the M. Bison outfit,
or the Ryu, the Cammy, yeah,
right,
I know.
Right, but $88, Alex. They're wanting you to spend $88 straight up for downloadable content costumes.
Now, here's the thing, though. In fairness, it is optional.
Yes.
It doesn't change your gameplay. You can keep it like simple, but again, this is optional. They're not saying like, again, Capcom has made some boneheaded mistakes. Asura's Wrath is one of them. How dare you freaking lock away the ending like that? That's where I have an issue. But with this, again, it's what you want to get out of it. Same thing like Killer Instinct. If you don't have to purchase all this stuff for a character you don't use, it's completely up to you. And it should be, I think that's the model that they're trying to go after, but money grabbing at the same price point. And again, my thing is, the people they partnered up with the investors, the big corporation, like, I'm telling you, a lot of that has to do with it. Believe me when I tell you.
This ranks right up there with the horse armor from Elder Scrolls Oblivion, for real, man.
I heard a little bit about it. I'm not an Elder Scroll player, but I'm pretty sure. I think, who was it? Did Angry Joe do a video on that? Or I know somebody did a rant video.
Like, so many people did videos on that. You could throw a rock and hit somebody that's done a video on that subject. But seriously, man, I know it's optional DLC, and it does nothing to add on to the game from like a character standpoint, but come on, at least throw these premium DLC costumes in a package for like $20.
Like MK does, like Killer Instinct does.
See,
hey, bundle, like the bundles.
Right, I'm fine with that. Like, I have no problem spending $20 on some costumes. It's not gonna break my pocket.
That's how they do it in Street Fighter 4. Remember, they would have the summer pack. You get it for every character. You get the zombie pack. You get it for every character. Now, forcing it to be individual, I'm telling you, it's a money grab. It's a money grab thing, and I believe this overall will hurt the impact on the community, because you see how well Street Fighter 4 was received, being the resurgence of the genre. This is just showing that, hey, Street Fighter is popular. How are we gonna cash cow this?
And it's gonna, who it's gonna hurt the most? It's gonna hurt tournament organizers the most, because tournament organizers like to have all the costumes ready for their players, and they're gonna be like, oh shit, we gotta go buy these premium DLC costumes, and it's gonna cost us $88 a pop per machine.
So
So you got people like Alex Valle out there with the esports arena out there in California, who's gonna spend tens of thousands of dollars on this DLC, because look how many setups he has there. Then you're gonna have tournament organizers like CEO and Evo and Capcom Pro Tour more than likely will get it for free, but
of course, that.
You got all these other small tournaments like the East Coast Throwdown and NorCal Regional, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I remember even back with Street Fighter 4, they were supposed to have something in play where they would assist the tournament organizers so that they wouldn't be smacked up with the cost like that. I used to be partnered up with KOTC Nation under GameStop for a new gaming order, and I remember we were having to work some logistics out where we had costumes on some of the consoles, but not all. And then we would run like the losers finals and grand finals on the machines that had all the premium content. Then pool play would be on like, hey, bare bones. You know what I mean? So it goes to show, like, I think there's ways they can work it. And me as a former tournament organizer, it got too. It was too much. You know what I mean? I had to take a bow. But with that, I mean, smaller tournament organizers can overcome that hurdle. It's just, you just gotta know, if you're gonna start streaming it, just get it for a couple of consoles, and whenever you have like the big matches or semifinals and so on and so forth, just put it on there. That's the best advice I can give.
Man, this is just, I am just burning with anger and rage, and I'm just so mad.
Well, here's the thing though. For folks to be upset about it means that we care about it. You know what I mean? And we care enough to complain about it. And a lot of people who say, hey, why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? Look, if you're investing in it, you have a say. You know what I mean?
And as I said on the New Gaming Order podcast that was on Saturday, if I owned a legitimate physical copy of the disc, I would have broken it by now, because that's how mad I am.
Well, you be pulling a Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3 like I did, and it's funny, people enjoyed that. It was like 3,000-4,000 views me breaking a disc because I was pissed off at the game. Like, wow, really?
Yeah, but for me to break the game, that would involve me literally taking the hard drive out of my computer and like smashing it, and I got too much stuff that I need on that hard drive, so I can't do that for you guys out there on the internet. Sorry.
Well, I would say this. Once Ono-san even said it best. They are investigating doing a story mode. It's all I can say. I said this on New Gaming, my show, the New Gaming Order podcast. That it's not hard to do. Do it like Mortal Kombat X with the towers and everything, or just bring back what brought people to the fighting game genre. That arcade mode. And just do stills. That's it. They don't have to do a full-on story mode.
And the thing about arcade mode is, like, as I said, the total gameplay time for the story mode was literally me playing the game for 20 minutes and 36 seconds. Well, 33 seconds, excuse me. No, 21 minutes and 20 seconds.
Now, if you like compare that to Mortal Kombat, if you had a lot more matches to a lot more people. Like even Injustice, like the way that's paced, I think that was a lot better. Again, this is Capcom's first outing, and there's no way, not you on free play mode, not me, a New Gaming Order, Thumb Thrasher Gaming, or Tough Nerd Toys will ever get anything done right, perfect the first time. Then you have to take your steps. You gotta stumble, you gotta fall, you get back up, and you do it better.
Alex, honestly, I could have wrote a better story in my sleep. I truly could have.
Well, fair enough. I mean, there were some inconsistencies that I saw, but again, for what it's worth, if you saw what they were trying to achieve, then I just took it for what it was. And I did the story mode. I was okay with it. I wasn't blown away, but it is what it is.
But here's the thing: like, they don't realize that after you beat the story mode twice, once on normal, once on extra, you really have no incentive on going back and doing it again.
And maybe like they should have done something branching.
That's where arcade mode comes in, though. But like, say if I beat it with Ken, if I want to see some more story, I'll go beat it with Ryu, or I'll go beat it with Laura, I'll go beat it with Armika, or I'll go beat it with Bison. That would involve me going back to play arcade mode 5 different times from what I just counted out, and having a different experience each time.
Or they could have gone the Arc system and Guilty Gear. What was that? Guilty Gear X.
Dude, if they were
like depending, like if you hit somebody with a destroy move, a certain br- path would open up if you like, beat them by time over. You know what I mean? Things like the Guardian Heroes branching storyline type thing. I think that would have been cool too. But again, we don't know what's going on with the R&D. If they're again, I feel that they're under lock and key or they're under tight restraints, because believe me when I tell you, you give a developer enough time to really flesh out something, you'll see wonders. And
But here's
again,
the thing, like, unless they were developing this game in a cave in the middle of nowhere, all these examples exist. You have Mortal Kombat, you have Guilty Gear, you have King of Fighters, you have Virtua Fighter, you have your own older games that you've done in the past.
hmm
So there's a wealth of examples to draw from to see what kind of story that you want to do. Like there's a lot of examples of branching paths. There's a lot of examples of straight up arcade towers like Mortal Kombat. There's a lot of examples of your own fighting games doing character by character story mode with arcade mode. So there's no excuse. There really isn't.
well, you do remember though, when you look at the examples of older games, games today are a lot more expensive to make, almost three times more expensive, right? So, considering all these factors, you have to look at, okay, if we were looking at the PlayStation era, PS2 era, a lot of hand drawn 2D sprite stuff. Hey, you know what? Me as a spriter, I can sit there, have a team of 16 people, knock it out. Now, folks are doing things with mocap, studios, 3D, all that. It takes more time, more money. So there's different challenges that I believe the developers face now that they didn't have to hire res text what's that, resolution, things like that. So now it's like they're dealing with it where they are. It's not defending them, but I can kind of see where what could contribute to it. But any artist, any creator, any developer, any studio leader needs to know time, grinding, making sure that everything's QAQC'd, make sure that a coherent story, everything will come out a lot better with time. Let it cure itself, So that's pretty much all I got on that.
So, with that note, I want to know what you guys think out there in the internet. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Are you mad or are you satisfied with the story mode of Street Fighter V? And tell us why. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to this channel as well as the New Gaming Order channel. And watch us both on Twitch TV, twitchtv.ngx1, I believe it is.
Or actually now it's NGO underscore X1. That's the Xbox One channel, and then you have the New Gaming Order on Twitch. So we do weekly streams, Friday night fights. Free play mode is often a guest on both programs, so you can check us out there.
And check out my stream. It's at twitch.tv's free play mode 1, all one word. So this is Dave from the free play mode and Alex from New Gaming Order signing you off, hoping you have a good Independence Day. Eat lots of barbecue, drink lots of alcohol, but don't overdo it.
Hold on, what?
Hell yeah, man. Barbecue and beer, bro.
All right, and folks, thank you guys for having me on the free play mode, and I'm out hitting you with the head crush.
Peace, folks. Have a good holiday. We're out.